Last year, the family of General H. Norman Schwarzkopf gave Rock Island Auction Company the huge honor of entrusting us with bringing his fantastic collection to market. And it's such a wonderful grouping. Everything you'd expect from a lifelong military man and a wing shooter. You have these great military arms, you have outstanding shotguns, and then you also have a bevy of presentation arms, which run the gamut from the man's life engraved on a 1911 to the just plain fun and everything in between. Now, we began offering that collection last December and just could not have anticipated the response that it would receive. Just simply tremendous. Long story short, there's a couple likely world records set for his M9 General Officer's pistol, as well as a presentation Star Model BM. And then there's confirmed world records for his Desert Eagle, his Freedom Arms Model 83, and his presentation Beretta 92 FS. This June 27th, we're going to host an auction the likes of which we've never done before. It's our 250th anniversary of America auction. It's a celebration of the indomitable American spirit. One day, highly curated. It's not even 200 items, but every item in there is going to be quintessentially American and celebrate those 250 years of American freedom. So in that June auction, we will be presenting a Beretta 92 FS of a different color, and that is the M9 service pistol of General Norman Schwarzkopf, the very pistol he wore during the Gulf War. Now, on its face, it's a M9 standard service pistol. This is adopted in 1985 after the XM9 trials, serves through 2017 when it's eventually replaced, and it's of course produced by Beretta, a company whose history dates back to 1526. So this very year, they're celebrating 500 years of firearms manufacture. Congratulations. So the pistol, in and of itself, it already has pedigree, right? It's already got bragging rights for what it's done on its face, but there's more, naturally. Because out of the 600,000 that Beretta produced for the US government, only 555 are General Officers models. That's because the program was continued very soon after their adoption in December 1987. So only 555 are going to bear that GO prefix on the serial number, an incredibly small percentage. But of those 555, only one was carried by the most popular, most beloved four-star general of his era. Now, this is still in its left-hand configuration. We have our magazine release button here on the right-hand side. That's actually a quick change feature that was requested by the US military during those trials. Schwarzkopf, of course, being left-handed, so we see it in that configuration. We also see it wearing a pair of Crimson Trace laser grips. Now, you might ask, who would put Crimson Trace laser grips on this M9 of General Schwarzkopf? And the answer is General Schwarzkopf. This pistol comes directly from the family. It hasn't bounced around collections or been modified. How you see it is exactly how General Schwarzkopf chose to have it. Better still, it comes with his holster rig with a Bianchi G100 holster on there with a additional magazine pouch and a spare magazine. To me, this is the ultimate M9, the king of the M9s. Heck, it's the king of all Beretta 92 FSs. I mean, its development goes back to 1975, but the FS comes in 84. It's specifically designed for the US military. That's its call to being. It wasn't designed to appear in Lethal Weapon. It wasn't designed to appear in Die Hard. It was designed to ride with the servicemen and women of the US military, and ride it does. In fact, it rides in the largest military action that the United States has seen since Vietnam. And that would be the largest conflict that the M9 would ever be in. Like, the M9 it's defined by Desert Storm, by the Gulf War. And this is the one that rides on the hip of the man in charge, the highly decorated, the Vietnam combat veteran, the head of CENTCOM, the leader of the 100-hour war, the man in charge of all coalition forces of the Gulf War, 4-star General the Bear, General Norman Schwarzkopf. This was the era of the Beretta M9, and I know we said it before, but there's no more popular, no more well-known, no more beloved user of the M9 than the Bear himself. It's unquestionably the king of M9 pistols, but it's also an everyman's pistol. There's no gold, there's no engraving, there's no inscriptions. This is simultaneously a humble standard service issue pistol and also a monument to the American military might in the late 20th century, a metaphor for the man himself who became a national hero. We proudly offer it in our 250th anniversary of America auction this June 27th. We hope to see you there because it's only at Rock Island Auction Company.